The Orbital Guard's Origin Story, Episode 18, Keywords. After I had walked through the Panda Door and completed my meeting with Israel, I had a moment to remind myself of the bedrock. The next impulse I felt was a very strong urge to explore my new surroundings. It was a be here now kind of moment. I had access, so why not? As it happens, the tents are identical, with one exception. There is a lot of humming and buzzing up between the 1,000 and 2,000 foot level. It's a hard deck. There were lots of drones and various swarms, and goodness knows what else. This was my first encounter with the human studies and material sciences domain. When you have a chance to observe that level for any reasonable amount of time, you'll experience yet another reality shake. My first instinct was to head to the locker rooms, and sure enough, a frog appeared. Let's call this individual Coden. Panda mode seems to be in control of space-time. Unlike the other Cove exposures I had, the people here were using the 70% body language cue exquisitely. They had you in their sight, dead to right, before you even spoke a word. Naturally, this recognition forces a step back for most fresh fish. We're all left a bit speechless for a moment. I had a moment to collect my thoughts, and once I relaxed, I had an overwhelming urge to ask a question. Would it be possible to see the bays? Coden replied, interesting choice of words. Be back here in 30 minutes, please. More people will be joining you for a tour. My heart skipped a beat. By the end of the cyberpunk supernova, humans understand that each of their basic five senses can be manipulated quite well. There's a working acceptance of that fact. So best to use all 20 and call upon your ancestors from time to time. A moral mind seeking clarity might attempt to weaponize this capability, while others are more discreet so as not to bring upon harm. Once something has been deemed classified, those who know don't speak. Moral clarity in panda mode was called stealth, the unseen right in front of you. Because I'm in human studies, I quickly felt like we were behind here. Material sciences definitely ruled panda mode. It was a tangible vibe I couldn't shake. Until that very moment, I had bedrock to comfort in. Now I was living the dualities. 51, 49. The adhesive nature of humanity allows us to coexist in the one and zero simultaneously. Knowing humans can do this naturally is part of the cyberpunk fuse. Think of Bruce Lee, natural unnaturalness and unnatural naturalness. Be like water, or a fifth dimensional entity. As luck would have it, I had a chance to observe the fly zone. And yes, there were drones and lots of operating swarms, but there were humans as well. They were interacting and communicating with everything on that level. There was the sound, and there was a lack of sound. Keep in mind, you're under the sea in a perfectly lit environment. You have no clue how the lights work or why the temperature is always perfect. And now your very eyes and ears have become useless. Some drones did make sounds, others didn't. Some humans could be seen flying about, others were seen and unseen. But that too could very well have been artificial, or even a deliberate distraction, perhaps a hologram. The fly pack was a quantum evolution. All pack designs are a very big deal at Cove. Some people jokingly call them their golden nugget. The canopy laser system that we wore in the spheres was called a blossom. The flight packs that were being used in the panda tents were called bees. These were for training, and their initial coupling with its operator and harness was always held at Scotland Cove. There are a lot of packs that are used. There are so many, in fact, that they become indistinguishable from daily operator tasking, regardless of the perceived calendar year. And they were easily camouflaged if you were ever on a hop and you were exposed to the general public. OGs were living marvels and well beyond. The Cove is no place for acronyms and clever groupings of letters. Your mapped intent doesn't need them. You might use one in a specific dialogue or discussion with someone, but after spelling things out together and coming to an understanding, you pass them by. Moral clarity rises in the form of ego. When you pass through that urge, the road ahead becomes very clear. Yes, material sciences was the alpha dog in panda mode. They had the most chips on the table, but human studies had its unique role. Operational, yes, our lab was not the top dog, but in frequency and vibration, we always rose. Tip of the spear. If I ever met a grasshopper on my path in panda mode, I would respectfully ask one question. Why are the golden nuggets only paired with its operator at Scotland Cove? If the moment were right, I would respectfully follow up with, it's my understanding most things translate to all coves in existence. Why is this singular act performed only in one coordinate? I would very much like to know the answer to this question. Being human means being hyperintuitive. This is a natural resource we generally exclude. My gut tells me the answers of the grasshopper would flow something like this. There are many levels within your own mind now, too many to discover them all. Be present, be here now. Discovery is both 0 and 1 simultaneously. Learn to listen without your ears. Human Studies also had the inside track on the upcoming FAA space jump activities. Environmental health and safety was George Clinton now. We were looking to scale. This was FedEx to the moon kind of stuff. It was really good to be North American during this evolution. An emergency egress at 800,000 plus feet is no joke. Passengers of the body and soul were prepping for their maiden flights. Motherships were being moved into position. At our hotel orbits, space debris was exceptionally dangerous. In fact, it was fatal. We simply couldn't sound the alarm fast enough. Accidents do happen. We just had no fix. Point to point Earth Moon Mars conveyances meant that the Space Force was always close by monitoring laneways. There was something else I was starting to notice in panda mode as well. I felt younger. I mean, in terms of my mental and physical acuity, I wondered, was the oxygen mixture altered? Maybe the nutritional offerings were different? Maybe there were gravity displacement exercises being conducted. It dawned on me after my departure that I might want to check my height as a new metric. I also had these constant sparks of forward motion, like racing thoughts or shooting stars. They were tangible and easily captured through basic photography. I wondered what the ready rooms in Panda mode were like, and what were those couches like? It was a short step for an OG bracelet to come in contact with their first Panda pack, but humane ripples within were profound. They fueled the forward motion. The calendar year said one thing, but given access to Panda mode, I realize there is no way that this could have been set up overnight. Now towards the year 2020 and 2021. There were two packs that held particularly shiny lore amongst the OGs: the dark mode True Sparrow and the light mode Blue Jay. These were playfully nicknamed Mars and Teleport. What could possibly be in the White Room? Was there a sphere evolution as well? There had to be. Nothing stood still at Cove.